Hello, viewers. I'm Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, ex-reader from Odisha. Today stands before you a very important topic of third semester of plus 3 second year of the paper Public Administration, and the topic is public policy. Today's topic is public policy. And so far as public policy is concerned, in this video, discussion is made about the meaning of public policy, theories associated with public policy, formulation of public policy, implementation of public policy, and evaluation of public policy. Today's video on public policy is very much essential for third semester students of plus 3 second year of the degree level. I request my viewers to watch this video attentively and till the end, so that you will be clear about the meaning of public policy, theories associated with public policy, formulation of public policy, implementation of public policy, and evaluation of public policy. I request my viewers to make best use of this video for an examination and recommend your friends also to subscribe my channel so that useful videos will be in your hands. Let us start. What is public policy? Public policy is a plus of two words. One is public, other one is the policy. The word public means it relates with people in general. It relates people of the society. It is not individual, rather people in general. And the word policy means the decision of the government. So public policy means whenever the government will take any decision for the interest of people in general, it is known as public policy. So public policy means it is the decision of the government which relates with people in general. It is public policy. And in public policy, as many as 10 important principles are observed. These 10 principles make the public policy more real. These 10 principles are visible in public policy. So the first principle which is found in public policy is it relates with public affairs. The first feature of public policy is that it relates with people in general. It relates with public affairs. It does not relate with individual affairs. So the first feature of public policy is that it relates with public affairs. And number two, it is related with a purpose. Public policy is not general. It relates with a purpose. Like education policy, defense policy, like this. And number three, it is based on public needs and demand. Public policy is a policy which fulfills the need of people. It fulfills the problem of people. And number four, it is the decision of decision makers. Public policy is not the decision of any person or institution. It is the decision of the decision makers of the country. And number five, it is based on well-defined procedures. Public opinion, public policy will not be made haphazardly, will not be made unsystematically. It is made on the basis of some well-defined procedures. Okay, viewers? Then another feature of public policy is that it is binding to public officials to carry it out. It is the duty of public officials, government officers to carry out public policy. It is binding to public officials or government officials to carry it out. They are bound to carry it out. Again, another feature of public policy is that it can be positive or negative. Public policy can be positive, can be negative. Sometimes public policy is prepared to serve some people, it is positive. And sometimes public policy is prepared not to perform certain thing, it is negative. Again, it is legal and constitutional. Public policy is legal. It is based on law. No one can go against it. It is not illegal. It is legal and constitutional. Then it is binding to people. People will have to obey public policy. Then it is backed by coercive power. If any person will violate public policy, will not carry out public policy, he will be punished. So you are clear what is public policy and what 10 features in a public policy. Now we'll take off theories associated with the public policy. There are as many as 6 theories which are associated with public policy. The first one is institutional approach. Institutional approach of public policy speaks that public policy is not made by any person. It is made by government institutions. Government institutions prepare public policy. Like the role of legislature, executive and judiciary cannot be denied. So, institutional approach speaks that public policy is prepared by government institutions, and as government institutions are preparing public policy, it is binding to people, and behind it there is binding force. And group theory speaks that whenever public policy will be prepared, at the time there will be adjustment of demands of different type of groups. In society there are different type of groups like peasants groups, traders groups, workers groups. So whenever public policy will be prepared, demands of different groups will have to be considered and a balance will be maintained in the public policy of the demands of all groups. Public policy will not be made against the demand of any group. It cannot be made by ignoring demand of any group. Public policy is a balance of the demands of all groups. Then, elite theory. Elite theory speaks that in society there are some persons who cannot understand what is public policy. But in the society there are some learned persons who know what is public policy, what is public interest. So behind public policy, elites of society play an important role. And number 4, incremental approach. Incremental approach speaks that every country has a chain of historical decisions. In the past also many public policies were made. So whenever a new public policy will be made, at the time a look or a glance will be made about the historical decisions of the past, and if possible some additions will be made. So incremental approach speaks that public policy will not be made all of a sudden. Whenever public policy will be made, a look or a glance will be given to historical decisions of the past. In this case, public policy will be a better one. Then number 5, rational approach. Rational approach speaks that whenever a public policy will be prepared, at the time, different alternative public policies will have to be taken into account. Whenever a particular public policy will be made, its alternative will have to be considered. Pros and cons, merits and demerits of all these policies will have to be considered. After that, a best policy will have to be chosen. It is rational approach. Finally, system approach. System approach speaks that whenever the government will rule, at the time it will have to face the people. Whenever a government will rule, it will have to face the people. And from people, sometimes many type of demands will come. These are known as inputs. And the government, after considering these demands, will make a policy to satisfy people. This is known as the public policy. So, we are clear till now what is public policy. We are clear important theories associated with the public policy. Now we'll take up public policy formulation. Public policy is not so, framing of public policy is not so easy. Formulation of public policy is not so much easy. For the formulation of public policy, a lot of things will have to be taken into account. First of all, selection of public policy from alternatives. Whenever public policy will be formulated, or whenever public policy will be prepared, at the time, its alternatives will have to be considered. From different alternatives, the best alternative will have to be selected. And number two, consideration of social, economic, political, cultural and resource factors. Whenever public policy will be prepared, at the time, social factors, economic factors, political factor, cultural factor and resource factor, money factors will have to be considered. Otherwise, the public policy will be a piece of paper. Number three, it is a cooperative effort. Public policy is not an individual effort. It is a team effort. For the formulation of public policy, a lot of people will have to be involved. It is a cooperative effort. And number four, it comes through various levels. Public policy will have to come through various levels. First of all, the legislature will make a law. Then executive will have to take a decision. Then the top executives will give direction to civil servants to carry it out. So public policy consists of a lot of levels. All through these levels, public policy will have to come. Then finally, consideration of domestic and global factors. Consideration of domestic and global factors. Whenever public policy will have to be made, internal factors, domestic factors and global factors, international factor will have to be considered. So, formulation of public policy is not layman's business. As many as 5 factors will have to be considered. Now we'll see public policy implementation. Formulation of public policy is not important. Its implementation is important. And for the implementation of public policy, as many as 6 factors will have to be considered. Now 1, issue of policy directives and operational tasks in clear and systematic way. For the implementation of public policy, the clear-cut directions should be given to the officials. In which way public policy will have to be implemented, in which way it will not be implemented. The clear-cut directions will have to be given. Otherwise, public policy cannot be implemented in a better way. Number 2, creation of organizational units and assigned personnel, assigned work. For the implementation of public policy, an organization must be created and people must be assigned the work. How to implement the policy. Otherwise, public policy cannot be implemented in a better way. Number 3, provide necessary information to official and an efficient system of communication and coordination. Then, those who are involved in the implementation of public policy, they must be given sufficient information and there must be a good communication system among them and there must be a good coordination among them. It is another aspect of implementation of public policy. Then, development of a monitoring system to watch progress. Whenever public policy will have to be implemented, it will have to be monitored. It will have to be watched. Its progress will have to be monitored. Then, finally, continuous evaluation of implementation progress. Continuous evaluation will have to be made. Whenever public policy will have to be implemented, continuous evaluation will have to be made. Periodic discussion will have to be made. Again, maintain systematization in implementation work. Maintain systematization in implementing work. Whenever public policy will have to be implemented, it should be implemented systematically. So by taking into consideration these 6 factors, public policy will have to be implemented. Now we'll see evaluation of public policy. Evaluation means to watch the cycle of the policy from the preparation to the implementation. Evaluation means to watch the beginning of the public policy to the implementation of the public policy. The entire public policy will have to be watched. It is known as the evaluation. So far as evaluation of the public policy is concerned, 5 factors must be considered. What will have to be evaluated? Number 1, effectiveness. Effectiveness means the extent to which public policy fulfills the public problem. Effectiveness means the extent to which public policy is able to fulfill public interest. Up to which extent it is able to fulfill public interest. How much it has solved public interest. This is effectiveness. And number 2, efficiency. It means for the implementation of public policy, money is spent. But so much money is spent, proportionately that much benefit people have got or not. It is efficiency. No doubt money is spent. But on the basis of expenditure of money, that much of profit people have got or not. It is efficiency. Otherwise, money will be spent unnecessarily. And number 3, adequacy. Adequacy means whenever public policy will be implemented, at the time it will be studied whether all the personnels have given their adequate efforts or not. Adequacy means whether all the personnels involved in the preparation of public policy to the implementation of public policy, personnels have given their adequate efforts or not, or they have acted in a not serious manner. Then equity. Equity means whether the benefits of public policy have been distributed among all the people or not, or a particular section of people have been benefited. Finally, responsiveness. Responsiveness means how far the public policy is successful. How far the public policy is successful in solving people problem. So in this video we have discussed what is public policy and what elements are observed in the public policy. We have discussed 10 features in the public policy. We have discussed 6 theories of public policy like institutional approach, group theory, elite theory, incremental approach, rational approach, and system theory. Then we have discussed at the time of preparation of public policy, as many as 5 factors will have to be considered. Then we have discussed at the time of implementation of policy, 6 factors will have to be considered. Then we have discussed at the time of evaluation, 5 factors like effectiveness, efficiency, adequacy, equity, and responsiveness will have to be considered. I think, my viewers, this video on public policy is a very important video, and the public policy is placed in a very simple term, in simple language, in very easy language. I have placed public policy in this video. I request my viewers to take best use of this video, subscribe to my channel, and request your friends for the same, so that all the students will be benefited. Thank you, viewers. This video I have prepared on the basis of the demand of my viewers. So if you will have demand on any topic, you can intimate me through my channel so that your problem will be solved. Thank you, my viewers. Goodbye to all.